What up, everybody? It's your girl Sherry's Joy with another episode of Bookmarks. I've got my coffee, I've got my pen, I've got my notes, I've got my table. I am ready to discuss my top 10 of the year. But before I do that, cheers. All right. So I have my top 10. These are not in any particular order. And then I have a bonus. I'm very excited. I'm just going to give a quick synopsis of each one of these books and why I, have this on my list for 2025. And this video will have chapter marks for each of the books that I'm going to give a synopsis for. So I guess let's just get right into it. So in no particular order, the first book on my list is Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey. And I chose this book from my list because it is motivational without being preachy. It's very reflective and very entertaining. I was right there with him, on his safaris and not safari, but his trips are all over the world. And he really talks about his upbringing and his story with his siblings and, how his dreams just had him do all of these things, right? So he had to chase his dreams. And then of course it talks about his acting career in his movies and things like that, and how he really got into it and how much he's just such a people person. And I feel like this book had a lot of life lessons. It was funny, it was self-reflective. And if you're a lover of memoirs or even Matthew McConaughey himself, this book is for you. The next book that I have on my list is The Yellow Wife by Sadika Johnson. This book was powerful. It was painful. It was just unforgettable, phenomenal. The first book that I've read by this author, Sadika Johnson, and it had me from the very beginning. It's historical fiction, and you really can feel the pain and everything that the character goes through. This book takes place in Virginia. I believe Miss Johnson is from Virginia. It takes place in the Richmond area, and you're on a plantation, and it follows the main character, the Yellow Wife, on her, her journey and everything in her story and her life as a slave on this plantation in Virginia, and how she was married to the plantation owner and her trials and tribulations. Very powerful. This book is for anyone who loves historical fiction and readers who want an emotionally intense story regarding history or just in general. My next book that is on my list is Daughters of the Lake by Wendy Webb. Now, this book is very atmospheric and haunting, and I got chills, from being in the atmosphere within the pages. I would totally read this book again. It's got a gothic vibe with some mystery and generational secrets, and so it really just has you guessing, and it has the twists in there. And this book is for anyone who loves cozy mysteries and a dark edge of their book, and you love twists and just going back into time. This book is for you. I mean, I'm getting chills right now just kind of talking about it. So perfect read. Grab yourself some coffee, whatever your comfy cozy socks are, or whatever it is that you like to cozy on up with this book, with a book. And Daughters of the Lake, Wendy Webb, this one's for you. Such a terrific book. I did review it, and you can check out my review on this book as well as the other 2 books on my channel on YouTube, Bookmarked SJ. 5 stars. So the next book that I have is Homegoing by Ya Jossi. So this is actually another first book that I've read for them. A lot of these are the first books that I've read for these authors. So Homegoing is a deeply moving and beautifully written historical fiction, and it is structured from the beginning, all the way to the end. It's a period piece, if you will, historical fiction. And we start off on the Gold Coast of Africa, Ghana, and we travel with the character all over, right? But we end up in America. It is about, how do I explain this? So it is about two females who are they're related in some way, shape, or form. They're sisters. And one is followed through tragedy, through slavery to America, and the other is followed through tragedy with being enslaved in Africa. And it is about their lineage and their family generations. And this book is a good generational trauma. I mean, there are some really moments in there that are traumatizing. There's resilience in here, and readers who appreciate literary fiction with a historical depth, this book is for you. Before I get into the next selection, I just want to say thank you so much for all of your support, your likes, your subscribes, your shares, and your comments on my channel, Bookmarked SJ. Your support truly, really does mean a lot to me, so thank you very much. 2025 has been quite a year, and my goal was 52 books. I ended the year with 58 books. I've time traveled. I've traveled through different continents, from North America, South America, Africa, Europe. It's been quite a journey, and more importantly, I've met a lot of independent authors who are wonderful, and I've enjoyed their stories. And also, I have my box has been opened up to audiobooks. So I'm definitely looking forward to 2026 and what that brings. I have some really awesome things coming up. I'm going to read some classic books, so I'm very excited. And with that, let me move on to my next book from this year, and that is The Devil in the White City by Erik Larson. Erik Larson. So why? This book is a historical book written as historical fiction, but it's actually nonfiction, and it's true crime meets architecture meets historical meets, oh my goodness. And I did a lot of research while reading this book. If you look at my top 5 so far for mid-year, this is mentioned in there. I took a while reading this because I had to research everything. Oh, not everything, but a lot of things I had to look up what these things are. I learned a lot about the Chicago World's Fair, and I learned a lot about how things, from beginning to end, and just things that I know of, and just the discovery, like, oh my goodness, like one thing that stands out really quickly is the Pabst Ribbon beer. That beer is garbage. However, it won the blue ribbon at the World's Fair. It was Pabst, right? And it won the blue ribbon. And so now, and since then, it's now called, it's been called Pabst Blue Ribbon. Like, I thought that was really cool to learn. So if you are a nonfiction fan and you just love history, check out this book. It's really good. It's got some eerie vibes to it. The next book The Wedding People by Alison Espach. Forgive me if I mispronounce her last name. This book was a surprise. It was tender, it was funny, it was recommended to me by a coworker. I was like, I don't do romance. However, it had a little bit of a dark tone to it. It had comedic tones to it. I mean, it was about grief and healing and just understanding and connecting with people. And it's perfect for readers who love character-driven stories, and you're very much engaged. It is about a woman who travels, who goes to a hotel off the coast of, I believe we're in Maine, forgive me if or Rhode Island, and she's there to check in, to just check in so that she can check out herself. And she comes across a wedding that was there, and the wedding people actually end up saving her and saving her life. And so it's really good. I highly recommend that one. It was a good read and it kept me going, the pages anyway. The next book on my list is The Quiet Librarian by Alan Eskins. This book was emotional and thought-provoking, and it had secrets and redemptions. It's about a librarian in America. She comes to America after the Bosnian War, and it bounces from time. Her friend has been, and she's trying to find the person who her. And so we go backwards into time, right? And we find out how she became, how she came to America. And so in the past tense, we're reading about her time during the Bosnian War. And then in the present tense, she's here in America and she's searching for the person, like I said, her friend. And so it is very emotional, and it gets into some detail with some of the violence that was happening during this time. And I remember the Bosnian War. I was a young adult, and it was very emotional, and it was a really good read. I read this in one day. I was, cover to cover in one day. That's how engaged I was in this book. I highly recommend it. The next book. Bow down to Miss Frida McFadden. She did it again. The Tenant. I listened to this book and I read this book. Now, I couldn't put it down and I couldn't take the earphones or earbuds out, whatever you want to call them. It's a fast-paced psychological thriller for readers who love twists and chapter twists and characters and conniving and I don't know, just mistrust. I mean, it's Frida McFadden, right? If you're a fan, you're a fan. And so, I mean, it was great. It is about this couple who are, they're engaged and they're in New York. Most of her books, from what I know, from what I have read, take place in New York. They have a tenant who comes in and all havoc breaks loose and chaos, and it's good. It is so good. I had my comfy cozy on, and I was wrapped up, I was engaged, and the audio of it brought in the comic, the comic relief and all of that. It's written in a man's perspective as the main character. It's wonderful. And I highly recommend this book. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. Check out my review on it. I have a spoiler review as well as a non-spoiler review. The next book is, I was a little hesitant to read this one, right? But why not? 28 Summers by Ellen Hildebrand. Now, when I read this, I borrowed this through the Libby app from my local library. I had it was going to be my summer read, but it was on hold for like so long. I was hesitant anyway, so I was like, all right, I can wait 11 weeks, and it didn't really take 11, but it took the whole summer. I read this book, I believe, in October, November, and this book is nostalgic and emotional. It's about a love story. It's the one who got away but didn't. It's everything. I'm angry, I'm in love, I want to the character, and then I want to cry. I have never cried from reading a book until I read this book. I cried like a baby. I cried harder than I cried when we lost Jenny from Forrest Gump. I was in my room with this book, like crying hard. I loved it. Every moment of it, even the crying, it was crazy. Check out my thoughts on this. Actually, I didn't do a review on this. I apologize. I'm doing it now. This book was wonderful. If I was to do a review on it, I would rate it a 5 out of 5. 28 Summers by Ellen Hildebrand. I meant to review it. I don't know why I didn't. The next book, last but not least, is That Summer by Jennifer Weiner. It is relatable. It is heartfelt. It's about friendship and identity and growth. It's about overcoming, empowering, and it is for readers who love women empowerment and contemporary women's fiction. This book it didn't hit home because I've never been in this situation. However, I understand how important it is. It takes place during the Me Too movement, and when women's voices weren't being heard, but everybody's coming together and now we're being heard. And it follows a young lady who's 15, and she goes to the Cape to babysit, for the summer, and she's attacked, and she's quiet about it because it was like it was 87, and she lives her whole life with this. And then during the Me Too movement, she was no longer silenced, and she spoke up for herself, and it really hurt her. So it's about overcoming that. And this book was beautifully written. Jennifer Weiner is a wonderful author. I've read a few of her books, and I highly recommend this one. It is a 5 out of a 5, and it is the last book that I read up until this point. Okay, I know I said 10, but I could not leave this out. I have a bonus, and this is actually 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. The Outlander series by Diana Gabaldon. Oh my goodness. I was introduced to this series this year, and I don't know why. I've never heard of it. I don't know why it took me so long to get into this. This is my Scotland. This is my happy place. This is it. I go to Scotland every night before I go to bed. I am in it. I love everything about this. I'm actually on book 4 right now, Drums of Autumn, and I really wish they would just go back to Scotland. I can't even explain. This book is historical fiction. It's epic, it's immense, it's emotion, it's love, it's steamy, and it is rich, and it's just perfect for readers who are ready to commit a long reading journey and are ready to commit to a series. Like, each book gets longer and longer, I feel like. So right now, Drums of Autumn is 982 pages. is. It is wonderful. It takes about a week to read. I highly recommend it. I am so excited to finish this series, but I'm hurt when I will finish it. But I love this book so much. I love this series so much. Scotland is my happy place. I love it. And I love Jamie. He is great. Now, the book I am currently reading is The Quiet Tenant by Clémence Michelon. I hope I pronounced that right. She is a French author. And I'm ending the year with this book. I'm listening to it and I'm reading it at the same time. And so far I'm on chapter 5 or maybe 8, something like that. And this book is about, for so far, I'm getting Stockholm syndrome vibes. We meet this woman who's being held captive against her will in a garage, and and this man, he comes to visit her like every night, and she knows his routine. It's been 5 years, and then so we're learning about that. We learn about this woman, and then we're learning about this woman who's actually like his wife, and how the two. It's so far it's good. That's all I can really say. I'm very excited to review it and finish it, and I'm finishing out the year with this, and I've got awesome things for 2026. It is going to be epic for me anyway. I'm going to challenge myself to read 10 classics throughout the year, 10 classics throughout the year. And I will review them and I will talk about them. I plan and hope to finish the Outlander series next year. I have some journaling that I'm doing. I'm, audiobooks and reading books. So I think my goal for next year, I'm going to challenge myself to 55. I did 52 this year and I ended with 58. So I'm going to up it to 55. That is my goal. And I am going to stick to it, and I love it. And I will check in. And just please keep watching, keep liking, spread the love, subscribe, leave me comments, tell me what you want to see, tell me what you don't want to see. Have you read any of these books? Do you love them as well? What do you think about the Outlander series? How do you feel about Matthew McConaughey's memoir? Did you read Homecoming? Did you read The Yellow Wife? What else do you recommend? Let me know. And thanks again for all of your love and support. I'm Sherry's Joy. I am one half of the DigiKast. You can find me here on YouTube, bookmarked SJ. I'm on Blue Sky at Sherry's Joy. I am on Instagram at bookmarked SJ. You can find the DigiKast on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube as the DigiKast. We do Vacations on a Budget. We also have some wonderful things coming up next year that we are so excited to talk about. It's been a great year. 2025 just has been wonderful, and I'm looking forward to 2026. Until then, as always, love the world.